What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It is your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals. And man, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. I got to watch a little tennis with my little girl. She balled out this past weekend. Got to brag on her a little bit. All right, she ain't been doing nothing else earlier this year, so she finally came through with something. But then, we right back at it again this week. All right, going hard and bringing on. We got a great lineup this week, man. We got all over the country. HBCUs, Power Fives, mid majors. We doing it up, man. We got a great week ahead of us, man. And we starting it off right. All right, we got Coach Mark Smith from Voorhees College over there in South Carolina joining us today. All right, Coach Mark, man, what's going on, family? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's an honor. Thank you for having me on your show.
No doubt about it, man. So, like I always do with every guest that comes on, I know a little bit about you, a little something, man, but I want my guests and I want everybody else, to find out a little bit more about you, man. So let's take it back to the beginning, all right? I know you rocking and, ATL and all here, but let's go, man.
Well, first of all, I like to thank God for allowing us to be in good minds and continue to have good health through these uncertain times. Before I begin my journey, I'd like to thank guys Ron Jackson, who's the former Boston Red Sox coach, a hit instructor for the Boston Red Sox, Marquise Grissom, who's 95 World Series champion, Courtney Stewart, known as CJ, he's over the lead organization. Also, Edwin Thompson, he's the current head baseball coach of East Kentucky. These are guys I'm talking about. These are guys has been instrumental throughout my career. It's mapping me out. So these guys have been very big in my career. Also, most important, my wife. Through these journeys ups and downs, I cannot forget her. She's been supportive through me from my journey from the beginning to where I'm at now. I went to Albany State, graduated from Albany State. Then after that, I played briefly baseball at Albany State, and then I started out at Clark Atlanta from 2007 to 2009. And then I ended up going to Jonesboro High School in 2010. And then after that, I was instructor for LEAD, the organization I mentioned about, CJ Stewart, which stands for Launch, Expose, Advise, Direct. Great program for inner city programs. He does a great job of molding those kids on and off the field, becoming young men. And after that, I was at Atlanta Sports Academy as a head baseball coach. And then I went down to Memphis, where I met my lovely wife. I was in Memphis from 2012 to 2013 as an assistant coach. And then I came back to Atlanta. Once again, I came back at Morehouse. I was assistant for 2013 and 2015. And then I had an offer as a head coach to go back to Memphis in 2015 and 2018. It was very successful there. The 3 years there, I was able to take those guys to, like I said, 2017 SIAC tournament. I also was outstanding coach of the tournament during that time frame. So it was very huge. Memphis will always be in my heart. So those guys, like I said, all those guys as of now, they have graduated, and that's most important. That's what it's all about. At 2019, I'm currently here at Voorhees Baseball. I'm the head baseball coach and also the athletic academic enhancement coordinator. So now I'm in a more as administrative role. Here, I think, D, we actually ended up getting this award from ABCA, which is this is bigger than winning the World Series to me. I mentioned it in our press release. We received an award where ABCA give a team academic excellence awards, where we had ended up achieving a 3.0. And there was only 4 HBCUs out of that award that received that award. That was us, Coppin State, and that was Alabama State, and it was I'm trying to think of the other school. It was I can't think of the other one off the top. It was only 4. It was only 4 from HBCU. So that's a big honor. And you got to keep it. That's a big honor. You got to keep in mind, D, on my level, I don't have GAs, graduate assistants, those things. So I'm burning a lot of midnight oil. And I stress those guys, baseball is temporary. At the end of the day, education is going to last you for a lifetime.
Yeah, that is. Congratulations, man. That is a hell of an achievement, because, ultimately, that's the reason why these kids go to school, is to get that education. And right. So more power to you, man. Congrats, man. So let's Atlanta, nice resume, different stops here and there, and now you landed as an administrative role / coach. It sounds like an AD, right? Pretty much an AD type of aspect, right?
I'm the academic enhancement coordinator, so I'm doing a lot of administrative led work. But the AD there is Ms. Johnson, who's been great. She's a former AD at South Carolina State, MEAC, great basketball player back in the day. So she really has been allowing me to learn administrative role, which I think will prepare me later on down the road.
Nice, man. So the let me give a little shout out to the people that's listening in real fast before I start with these questions. All right, we have what up, Pierre Philly in the house. We have Coach Eaton. What's up? Thomas Eaton says, "What's up, Coach
Oh,
Smith?"
hey, Thomas. Hey.
All right. Jansen Cali in the house. What up? Javier Florida in the house. What up? All right, we got some other people over here. We have what up, Rhonda? What's up, Ernest? What's up, Johnny? What's up, Gilly Gill, former teammate of mine? Robert, what's good? Hey, Brand, what's up? KC in the house. All right. Corey, what's going on? ATL in the house too. All right. So yeah, I see you mentioned my boy Papa Jack, man, and you know, guys who don't know him, man, one of the best hitting coaches ever. One of the best dudes ever.
Yeah, we talk every week. Every week we pick each other brains. I love Papa Jack. Yeah, we talk.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And then, like he said, he's a former World Series champion coach, batting coach with the Red Sox, man. And I'm always, and that's great, you know, like this. And I'll just give my little spiel on Coach Papa Jack, man. You tell him I said what's up. I ain't talking to him.
I will.
But he was one of those dudes, man. When you coming up, you know, through the system of professional ball. And I think I met him after I had my time in the league and I was trying to hang on to my career. And he always gave me great advice. And, you know, I was happy that we would never really talk hitting too much. You know what I'm saying? He would just give me like some real, I'm sure what he does for you. You know what I'm saying? And he would just give me some real knowledge, man, on top of the baseball game, man. And, you know, a lot of the young black ball players, man, we all appreciate it. Probably everybody did, but you know, especially the young black ball players, you know, for the love that he always shared, man. So shout out to Papa Jack, man, and you know, definitely knows his hitting, man. So listen, man. So what up, Bubba? Alabama in the house. All right. Keith was good. David was good. All right. So Voorhees. All right. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I ain't never really heard of Voorhees before. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is why I do what I do. All right. What is Voorhees? Is it HBCU, PWI? What is it? You know?
Voorhees is HBCU school. We're NAIA, independent. It's located in Denmark, South Carolina. It's about an hour away from Augusta, and then the other end is like an hour from Columbia, South Carolina. So it's in like a rural setting, you know, it's out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, D? So yeah, it's on a lot of acres, a lot of land out there, a lot of potential. Like I tell the guys, it's what you make out of it. You know, it's what you make out of it.
All right. And what conference you said that you guys playing?
We are independent. We're NAIA, independent.
Okay. Yeah. So give me independent. So tell me, this would have been your second year here?
No, this is my second year now.
Yeah. Okay. Now, all right. So last year was all right. Let me put it like this: was COVID your first year, or sometime I get it?
Right. There you go. Well, you don't necessarily technically count COVID. I see what you're saying, D. But yeah, this technically my first year if you want, because I came halfway. We had to end the season roughly. So yeah, this would technically be my first year. Correct.
All right. Cool. So you know, before COVID hit, all right, because you are independent, I want to know your schedule. So you know, name some of the schools that was going to be on your schedule. You know, who you're going to be playing since you're independent.
Okay, we have Edward Waters. We got Trinity Baptist in Jacksonville, Florida. I have Savannah State. I also have Kentucky Christian. I just recently added to my schedule. Also, you have Claflin. I just recently added those guys. They back on the schedule. Claflin, and several other schools we have.
All right. So okay. So decent. I'm saying decent schedule. That's what I want to kind of give the audience an idea. So you know, you're in South Carolina, hotbed. You got Atlanta ties. You got, you know, obviously, I'm sure you still got well connected over in your Memphis areas and all of that. So it's a breeding ground. You know, it's a lot of talent out here, man. So outside of those areas, you know, where primarily your kids are from, and where are you looking to recruit from?
I would say, because I have several contacts all over. You know, I got kids, like I say, from Atlanta, Memphis, Alabama. So I have several contacts. And I think that's been able to help me through this period, because certain guys I have, I can rely on those guys for eye talent, and also I can rely on those guys for character makeup. So it makes it easier for me. So I pretty much just use what I need, look at the deficiencies, everything on my roster, and those guys allow me to plug them in and continue to build a successful program. And that's how I've been able to do it. A lot of people don't wonder. I'm just like a guy just kind of been just slowly been going along. Like, how's he able to do it with limited funds, the small schools he had? You know, I work what I have. I don't cry about spoiled milk. I'm used to that. I work with what I have and I make it happen.
Man, I love that, man. I mean, it seemed like a lot of such HBCU schools, and I mean, even the biggest, the MEAC and the SWACs. You know what I'm saying? Most of those schools are, essentially one hand behind your back when you're not fully funded, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Let me, and I'm sure you guys are in the same boat, right?
Yes.
Now, I know NAIA. I never really knew much about NAIA. I started running into a bunch of the NAIA programs maybe a couple years ago with my teams. But I'm just talking to somebody this morning about NAIA. Can you tell the difference between for my listeners NCAA and NAIA, and what's tell the difference because I didn't know it until I had to ask.
Yeah, because I've been blessed enough. I did NCAA and also NAIA. Well, the difference is, NCAA, you got a lot of red tape with NCAA. Now, of course, you got the sliding scale, Division I, Division II. With the NAIA, it's not as much red tape as the NCAA. NAIA is pretty much the 2 out of 3, which is when you look at 2 out of 3 for us entering, you look at having an 18 on the ACT or 970 or finishing the higher 50 percentile of your class. So it's not as stringent as the NCAA. That's pretty much how it works in the NAIA. But the talent, I mean, I don't see when I was in NCAA, the talent is pretty much the same. I don't see a whole lot of drop off. Baseball is baseball. I don't care if you're at JUCO, NAIA, or wherever it may be. Baseball is baseball.
So that's what I'm, you get the stigma NAIA and NCAA, the difference here and there. I agree. Again, I didn't really see too many NAIA programs, and hell, I didn't see too many college games like that too much too. But I know the amount of talent that has gone to NAIA programs. I know the type of coaches personally that I know that have gone on and started coaching at these programs, and I know the type of talent that they command and want and have gotten. And so competing against that. In the recruiting world, are you fighting that? Hey, what's NAI? What is?
What? I think I'm not really, because I'm getting my share. I think a lot of people have been following me. It's funny because we got Georgia Gwinnett on next year. I don't run away from any talent anywhere. Baseball is baseball. But the thing is, I think now we're gonna start getting more respect just coming from me as a top, as a coach, and they know programs where I've been. They know now that we're not gonna be no walkover. It's going to be organized. It's going to be structured, and we're going to play the game the right way, on the field and off the field. So it's going to be a different approach.
Man, I love it, man. I love it. So let me get a few more people that's been listening. Badai, what up, baby? Gavin Sims says, "What's up?"
Hey, Gavin.
All right. Eric, what's up? Big Chad, what's up? Former big leaguer. Martin, what's going on? New York in the house. LeBron, was good. All right, no, Byron's on here, South Carolina. South Carolina crew start coming in. All right, make sure I get everybody. Mike Cali was good. Bubba, Alabama was good. All right. Make sure. Okay. Let's go with the first question. I ain't gotta ask the first question, but it's good. Let's go. If a kid transfers from NAIA to D1 program, does that year count against NCAA eligibility?
Yes, if he transferred, yes.
All right. Dara, what's going on? Callie is in the house. All right. So I know what I do like about the NAIA, like you said, is a little bit, wide open. What I like about it is because you also have JV programs. Do you guys have a JV program?
We don't, and I noticed that several schools they do have, but we don't. We have a roster about 25 to 30, but we do not. All
right. Standards. All right. Enrollment. How many kids are at Voorhees? You know what I'm saying? And how many? Let me ask you this: how much does it cost to go there?
Okay. The enrollment is it's right at 480. We're trying to increase those numbers. It's right at 480.
480 kids?
Yeah, 480 kids. 480 kids. The cost there is $19,970. Which is compared to a lot of schools, I've been in other schools a little bit more. When I was at Morehouse, it was way more than that. But that's why I stress in the recruiting process, you got to look at ways. You look at what you have, the enrollment, then you got to look at ways versus trying to seek academic money. And athletic aid is kind of limited anyway. We all coaches know that. That's why you try when you're recruiting, you try to get those kids too are also more academically inclined, and that helps you out also.
All right. 480 kids, and I know you guys. I looked it up. You guys play multiple sports there, so it pretty much look like 20 or 30% of those students are all athletes. It seems like. Right?
Well, you know what? It's like 75 is student athletes, right? 75 are the kids. Yep, 75 student athletes.
I looked at it. I said all the sports is there, and I was like, cool. Now you tell me 480 kids. I was like, well, damn, it seems like everybody there plays sports,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But I keep kids really involved. We do a lot of fundraisers. I'm big on fundraising. We do a lot of things in the community. So I believe in keeping those kids involved and do a lot of things. Because you got to keep in mind, it's more than just baseball. We got to make sure these kids are complete as a whole, as a person. Being versatile.
Good deal, man. Jansen, a guy plays a year of independent ball can play NAIA, correct?
Yes, yes.
All right, and not just independent ball, you can play professional baseball too. I just learned that too, and yeah, I ain't know that. Eric over on my other page says, I have a kid I would like for coach to take a look at. All right, so Eric, this is what this beauty of this platform is, and he said, and coach, he has a 3.9 GPA. All right.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, coach will leave his either email or Twitter, whatever he chooses to at the end, to take a look at videos, anything like that. You just tell me what's your best way that you want.
I can leave my email. That's fine. Leave my email.
All right, cool. All right, so Eric, I'm gonna get his email within the next 5 minutes or so of this conversation, and I'm gonna post it on here, and you have access, and everybody else will too. So if you have any videos, you can communicate with Coach Smith right in here. That's the beauty of why I do what I do. And so speaking of that, I know everything is closed down and everything, but like I said, some NIA, depending on what part of the country and this what's going on, man. I know sometimes you're able to have camps and have workouts and stuff like that for kids, anything like that. Do you have any plans, anything with the school? Anything?
Yeah, I do. Well, right now we're online instruction only, but I have a camp coming up in January. This will be the second year of doing it. I actually been working with these guys for the last 4 or 5 years. It's U.S. Baseball Academy. Now, also, I'm in the process of doing a camp with Papa Jack and having Marquise Grissom. So I'm working that out as we speak, because Papa Jack is becoming more involved in my program. So I'm working out on having a camp related with Papa Jack helping out, and hopefully Marquise pin on his schedule.
I like it, man. That would be awesome, man. Great major leaguer and a great coach. All right. How far out do you look to in recruiting?
Oh man, I have no limits. Like I told you, D, I got kids in Virgin Islands, all over. Of course, I stay in the South region, but I don't have any limits. I don't have any limits. I don't. To answer that question.
All right. So if you can play,
yeah, if you can play. That's right.
All right. The so new venture, new school, obviously excitement. Obviously it's a step on administrative type, duties that are coming to you. But was there when you saw this opportunity, open up, is that something that you was extremely excited to get? I know, I wouldn't know the difference between levels between where you came from.
Right.
Division II, you would think Division II would be, I know that's a little more, but now you're at, NAIA Division I though, but as far as level of job opportunity or whatever, obviously you got more roles over there, but were you excited about this opportunity that opened up for you?
I was excited. I feel like God has me here for a reason. You know what I'm saying, D? So I was excited, and I feel like I have a lot to bring, to offer to this school just through my experience on a Division II level, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Administrative wise, that was one thing they was impressed with, my resume, everything, things I could bring to them on the table as far as just simply how to build a program, how to build a program, how to build young men. So that's why she was excited, Ms. Johnson, to have me in this administrative role. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. I love what I do. I wouldn't trade the world for what I do. I get to the office at 6 a.m. But I tell you what, D, what I'm learning this time around, I'm learning how to balance things out. When I was in Memphis, I admit I burnt myself out. My wife said that you promised me this time that you got to balance. So now I'm learning how to balance things out. And when I leave that office, I deal with it the next day. I'm out there now. You know what I'm saying? I deal with it. The next day I'll follow up with it. So I'm learning how to balance things out this time around.
All right. Listen, I say this is about my fourth time saying this in the last 2 months, but head coaches for colleges, man, you guys have a lot of responsibilities, man. You know what I'm saying? More so than, somebody I think would ever get in his own. It's never like, the on-field stuff is like the easy part, it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to do all this other, the recruiting, the budgeting, you like the GM, coach, owner, you know what I mean? Like, you got all of this, mentor and everything when it comes to being a head coach. I mean, obviously now you got to add, responsibilities and stuff. But, was that something as a youngster when you finished playing, is that something that you kind of, really relish that opportunity to become a head coach and learn the ropes and, teach the game? But then, obviously all the other duties that came about that, was that something that, you always wanted to do or what?
Yeah, that was my goal. My senior at Albany State, I visualize things. When I lay out at night, I visualize things. I force things in my mind. That's the way I am. I visualize things. And I said then, my senior year at Albany State, I want to go and continue into coaching. And of course we have aspiration goals. Well, I want to eventually get to the ACC or the ACC. But right now, in God time, this is where He has me now. So this is what I want to do. And I always tell the kids, it's not all about monetary. Do something you love, and that'll come in due time. Do something you love. When I get up at 6 a.m., I'm enjoying it. I got a smile on my face.
I love it. Vision it out. Think about it. All right, it'll come to happen. All right, well, that's first thing. All right, and two, if you drag getting up in the morning and hate what you're doing, hey, you're in the wrong business, man. You know what I'm saying? So
right, exactly right.
Yeah. So
exactly right.
And a lot of people don't have that opportunity. And that's why I be trying, ball players especially, man. Y'all, sometimes they be dreading practice, dreading this, dreading that. And I like, you don't never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's gonna be taken away from you. So you better appreciate, that time you got on that ball field, man. So speaking of that, man, speaking of culture that you bring in, brand new coach and everything. So, what's a Coach Smith type of team, man? Tell me the type of players you like, what type of players you looking for, to build your program out.
I tell you, my team, number one, of course, academic. That's going to be number one. Character makeup. My team is aggressive. Now, it may change from year to year depending on my recruiting philosophy, my style. But I know last year we did a lot of small ball, a lot of gap to gap. We're not necessarily a power hitting team. We was kind of limited on arms, so I kind of had to beef up in that area. So by saying that means we had to get out early. We had to get out early and manufacture runs and that nature. So my team is going to be well disciplined. They're going to be well disciplined, well organized, well structured, because you got to have discipline. You don't have discipline, then you don't have anything else. So that's one thing we're going to have. And also they're going to see from me, not only on the field, but off the field as a coach and also as a husband, carrying himself every day like he's supposed to be. So my wife and I can say this too. I failed to mention this. In every program I has been, my wife and I, we always heavily involved. Whether it's recruiting, she takes a role. On bus trips, we go together. So it's good the kids, particularly African American kids, need to see that, D. They need to see that. That's important. That's important.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. That is, I haven't heard too many coaches say that, but for the unique situation that you're in, a HBCU school, one to see obviously a head coach as is black, and then to see a good, a good strong, home life system that so she's supporting you, she riding out, because trust me, I know firsthand, ain't too many, they don't like baseball games, you know what I'm saying? I personally, where it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So she riding with you to, mom and other half, and when we play back in the day, I didn't get to the seventh inning, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And that means a lot to me. And the kids, they see that, so that means a lot. They need to see structure. They need to see structure. They do.
I love it, man. That's love right there, man. So, but yeah, we are so structure, small ball, depending on the type of team and all of that. Right. So here you go, first year out, right? You got your schedule and you're excited and boom, and wifey with you and everything like that. Then COVID hits, all right. So now you like, man, how do I pick up? How do I, speaking on the recruiting side, where you at with a brand new program, trying to get the name out there, how has COVID affected you when it comes to the recruiting side?
Well, the COVID, well, actually, before I got the job, before I knew behind the scenes, I was already recruiting anyway. I'm always proactive. I'm gonna tell you, D, I'm always proactive, thinking ahead. I'm always thinking about the next step, trying to be ahead of the next man. So when COVID hit, it was kind of strange because it was like, wow, what do I do now? You see what I'm saying? What do I do now? So I continue to recruit. It's always something to do. I had a lot of administrative work going on. So and then you know what? I took time just to reflect. Think how many coaches in this country, how many times can you say on a Saturday during that time frame you had time to sit home instead of using dugout during that time, to be able to sit here and reflect with your family and everything, to really to sit back on things and just see things you need to work on to better yourself as a husband, father, whatever it may be. So that time really was needed for me, allow me to sit back to kind of reflect on things and see where I want to go and where I need to be.
All right. So now you out here and, you do all the reflection and, you can sit on your Saturdays and something that you ain't done in years and all that type of stuff. But bottom line is, what I'm saying, you got to get this talent in here. You know what I mean? So how has that been? You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, I don't know. You tell me, were you able to get out into these fields, into any of these showcases, anything like that?
I wasn't able to get out, but the guys, like I said, I had guys like, Grissom, all them guys, they was calling me, sending me videos of that nature. So I didn't lose the beat because those guys, they were sending me, I can trust those guys. I seen them on videos, things of that nature. But these guys, they know what I need. And recruiting always been like, it haven't never been difficult for me because they know the type. First of all, they know me. And it's important to know that coach, his personality, his style, his makeup. And they know what I'm looking for when I'm trying to build a program. So I haven't lost a beat. I mean, right now, I'm working on 21, 22, 23. I done shut the door. Now I'm working on 20 and 22. And that's kind of like, a lot of schools be like, coach, I'm done. I guess a lot of area schools, they say, well, you're not recruiting. No, I'm done. I'm working on 21, 22, 23. It's been cases where I have gotten guys, let's say Edwin Thompson at East Kentucky, where he have guys trying his camp and they didn't quite cut out. But he'll send them to me more as coach. You might want to look at this guy, quote unquote. He might fit where you are. So I'm just blessed, man. I tell you, I'm blessed to have guys that look out for me. Eden is one of them on this call. I'm blessed to have guys that look out for me. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful.
All right. Malone said, Xavier Gladney, Coach Smith attended Morehouse? ?
No, I did not. I coached there from 13 to 15 under Coach Robert Mitchell. I was assistant coach.
All right. Speaking of Coach Eaton, it said, how are the facilities coming along since you have been there?
The facility is coming along pretty good. I think we talked before. I had redone the whole infield, surface to infield, that nature. So I know I'm working on the dugout project. So I'm just trying to take things in stride. And I got time now. I got a lot of downtime now with the COVID. So I'm starting working on some other projects. And in due time, we're going to get there. I feel like already we have succeeded odds just simply in the classroom, because that's half the battle. I can handle the rest. Trust me, I can handle the rest. But you take care of business in the classroom, that makes my job a little bit easier.
All right. He says, okay. All right. So your 2021s, all right, 2022s. So how you come in fresh. Obviously, you got a already made roster, all right? How does that work? You know what I'm saying? When you step foot in that campus, obviously you got to, get adjusted and learn the players, right?
Right.
And then you learn the composition. So how does that work? So, I'm a brand new coach and I walk in the locker room, I meet everybody, Do I just take them on the field and I start seeing who junior, seniors playing level, what you think is up to your part? Because what I may like and what I recruited, when you come, you may not like and think and like and all of that, right? So how does that, you just dissect it that way and be like, yo, I need this position, I need that position, and kind of go from there or what?
I do. When I came in, my standards are very high. It is what it is. It is what it is. So when I came in, there's some guys that unfortunately I had to revisit some certain situations with some guys because I'm trying to build a program and I work fast. I'm not trying to work a 3, 5-year, 2-year program. I believe in you have to get to know the guys. You got to understand when you coaching, when you managing different personalities. Okay, you got 30 different personalities, and that's why I do a lot of team bonding activities to really get to know these guys on and off the field. So things will change because a lot of guys I'm bringing in, for example, 21 class. I got 2 kids come from Redan High School. If you guys know about Redan, that's what Wiley Jordan and Brandon Phillips. That's one of the top high schools in the state of Georgia. So that lets you know the type of talent I'm bringing in. These kids could have went anywhere else, but luckily I got a pipeline with Coach White, and that's been everywhere I go. So that just gives you an idea. That's 2 for Redan alone. So I mean, the program is going to go to a next level. And you have to understand, you coming in, certain guys might be role players, some guys might be everyday players, but you got to, once you understand your role, that don't mean it's going to be concrete that time, but you got to first of all understand your role and what I'm trying to accomplish. It's not about me. It's not about I. It's about who. It's about us.
I love it. All right. Let me see here. Russ says, does he have any ex-minor leaguers on the roster? We talked about this a little earlier.
I do not.
All right. We for those of you who don't know, the beauty of NAIA programs, you can ex-pro guys can finish. I'm still learning the eligibility aspect of it. Whatever many years you play in professional baseball, you will have years eligibility if you go to NAIA program. I think Division II or lower. I'm learning myself that rule, but it's a cool rule. But
it's funny you mentioned that, D, because my nephew went to Redan High School. He's a 2018 graduate. Kevin Smith Jr. got drafted by the Tigers, and I was telling some guys, yeah, I would love to have him, but he's still in the minor league system.
And I think, like, I talked to a couple of guys, and if they would see the benefit of it, as far as like, hey, you're gonna, especially the guys that come out of high school or maybe came 1 year junior college or something, it's a real benefit to go back, to play baseball and go to the school, because most of it, most of the times the guys get released or anything like that, they go try to get their degree, and it's a great way to go ahead, go get your degree, and you still got the year or 2 left of eligibility, play, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But the couple of kids that I asked about it, matter of fact, one of them got released. One of my kids that I used to train out in Memphis, he got released, and I was like, yo, you want to still play? Because I was excited when I found my rule out. He was like, yo, I'm good, you know what I mean? So you got to find that right, that right guy, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
How many scholarships do you have?
Well, scholarship wise, I have an X amount of numbers budget, so it's pretty much we give. Now, keep in mind, it's no full, so we give partial scholarships out. So to answer your question, we got, let's see, that's what's 19, 18. You look at, it's very limited. It's like 2 or full, but I pretty much spread it out. It's partial. I spread it out, so I don't necessarily give guys full rides. It just don't work like that. So if he can call me, email me, I give him a little bit more detail about that.
Okay.
I think it was Russ.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I heard what you said a little bit, whatever, man. So I mean, that's why it's parents. It's an easy slam dunk if you just get good grades. You know what I'm saying? If your kid kills it in the classroom, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It is, and I can tell you the kids are really excited. They hated we couldn't play fall ball, but they're excited, about coming back in January. But I just like to say, UD and all other coaches in the country, think about it. We can't get discouraged. This is in God's hands. I know everybody's kind of like, this worrying about the money, this and that. But you know what? Only God got control of this situation. You can sit here and ponder this, ponder that, but it's in God's hands. It's in God's hands.
So let me ask you this. I don't know this. Because like I said, it may be state to state. So your kids are coming back in January, and they're doing online this.
They do it online in the fall, and if God's willing, we'll report back in January. We see how this COVID-19 will play out. Yes.
How you guys are gonna then if it's gonna you guys gonna play, in spring? How how you feel? You know what I mean? Going into your first year, technically, whatever on the field at least your first year, and you ain't really got your boys, but for the few weeks before you head on the field, how you feeling about that?
I know, D, and I was just thinking about that. I said, wow, I only have probably 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe to get ready. It is what it is, D. I mean, we get back, we have 6 a.m. workouts. We're going to have a couple of fundraisers lined up. We just got to hit the ground running. I mean, what can I do? We got to hit the ground running. I don't have no control of that situation. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's why I was hated. We went online only. But I think at the end of the day, we did what's best for the school. We did what was best.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's important that, kids take it upon themselves right now.
Yeah.
And it sucks that they have been having to do that since the spring.
Right.
I'm worried a little bit that guys are not getting their work in.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Now, of course, a lot of those guys, I got guys from several, like, for example, I got 3 or 4 guys from Grissom. Grissom keep me a report what's going on. I got some other guys from Atlanta, and they keep me a report what's going on. But yeah, I have to be honest. I mean, I'm just hoping. I told them guys, I'm hoping they just come back full throttle. But we'll see. How kids are kids. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, better man than me. I'd be like, all right, your buzz get out here, you huffing and puffing, and that swing ain't right, and all of that. I'm gonna know who's putting in some work, and I'm gonna know who's been chilling. You know what I'm saying? And
you don't know, D, because time is limited at that point. It's limited.
Right.
A lot of the reps and everything is done during the fall. So guess what? Either you're ready to go or you're not. That's it.
Bottom line, man. The hey, I'm laughing and it's funny, but it really, I mean, I know COVID has affected everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? But I really I'm like, you're asking college 18, 19, 20-year-old, that been used to playing, you know what I'm saying? That they had a spring season that was cut. Did most of your guys play in the summer? And then if they did or didn't, that's still, now you're in the fall, you know what I mean? And it's like, ain't no work. I mean, we could hit off the cage and as much as we can, but it ain't like getting them, them sliders and them change ups and two seamers coming out.
That's what I'm talking about, D. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing like live. You can hit 300 in the cage all day long. You can look good in the cage. You have to hit them. But I'm talking about being in the field. So like you said, and then think about D, I'm not the only one in that situation either. There's a lot of coaches in that same situation. So, yep.
Let me ask you this, man. So did you encourage your guys to go? I mean, I was trying to put together some fall league college thing myself, but all y'all, spread out all over the damn place. But did you ever, because I was talking to some coach back in Memphis, trying to put something together for these kids to get their work in,
It was kind of tough because my guys are so spread it out, It was tough. I got guys here, guys there, so, and some of them, they pretty much, staying in touch with me that nature, let them know what's going on, but it was kind of tough, because my kids are kind of spread it out. Who knows this was going to happen in this situation, So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know they're going to be excited to play. I mean, it ain't just honestly, it ain't even just the college game because I'm dealing with over in the pro side right here. Same thing. What I'm saying? I'm talking about pro. I'm talking about college kids, but it's the pro dudes that a couple of them I'll be calling and talking to, and they have I'm like, you getting your work in, and they're like, yeah, and I hear little the misses in the bar. I was like, right. You better have your legs be ready to go and shake.
You better be ready to roll.
You know what I mean? Sure.
Tariq said hello. Tariq Brock.
Brock. Man. Yeah, man. That's T is up in in the league and over there. Employee, current employees of each other, but with each other. I was we were on the Skype calls. We were trying to link some all the brothers, and Pirates is doing a good thing with that, man. They we had a good amount, you know what I'm saying, of brothers, you know, coaching in the pro game, and you know, me being a new old guy, you know what I'm saying, and yeah. So T Brock, yeah, we go way back. We played against each other way back in trips, and he was, yeah. He had the. I remember the first, and I'm just telling this little quick story, but they had a Soul Patrol in minor leagues, AAA with the Chicago White Sox. They had Gary Matthews Jr., T. Brock, and Calvin Murray, who is the uncle of Kyler Murray, the football player, quarterback. They were in the outfield over there. You know, Calvin right now is a big time agent with works with Scott Boras people. You know, yeah, that's how I met T. Brock. He was a little bit older than me, but T. Brock could play, man. He could run, you know?
Yeah,
yeah. Shout out to my boy T. Brock. Anyway, yeah, so we got no camps. You know what I'm saying? January, right? You know what I'm saying? The camp coming in January. Papa Jack and Marquise Grissom. And you're in a, like I said, you say you're in the country a little bit, but you ain't like you hour around away from Atlanta, right? Like you said, right?
I'm an hour from Atlanta. I'm an hour from Atlanta, so the commute is about an hour. I actually stay in Lexington, so it's an hour commute. But it just when you get there, it's like I always say, like quote unquote. I was telling my mother, it's like Mayberry. You know, you got one Piggly Wiggly, you got one Hardee's, one McDonald's, so it's like a little Mayberry town or whatever. But yeah.
where are most of the outside of the baseball team? Where are most of the students from? Are they local or what?
They most of them are local. Most of them from local towns around. They from Atlanta. You might have a couple from Chicago, other places, but for the most part, they around the area, nearby area.
All right. Now, I know when I'm talking 18, 19, 20-year-olds and you know, you out here recruiting and stuff, but do you have a lot of, you know, JUCO kids that you are actively looking at? Is that something that, you know, your philosophy, you know, because you are in that, you know, win now. Well, I ain't gonna say win now. Let me say win now, but you know, you kind of getting your own players in, and you obviously you want the young kids, the Redan high school kids here and there that can play. But on the flip side, you know, you want some dudes with a little bit of experience and stuff that you know, maybe can help you out, you know, in the short term. So, you know, I love them when it comes to the recruiting side. How do you feel about the JUCO players?
I'm big on that. I know the previous schools I was at, I love JUCO guys. I love to have guys already seasoned. Matter of fact, I'm looking for some JUCO guys, particularly some arms. So it's always good. I think it's always good to have some JUCO guys and some guys well seasoned. They've been there. They could be good clubhouse leaders. They've been down the road before. So I think it's great to have a couple of JUCO guys sprinkled there in here and there. So I'm actually in process of looking at some JUCO guys.
All right. Speaking of the 21s, man, is anything in particular that you know, you know, position wise or anything like that you've been looking at, man? That you need?
Yeah, position wise, I beefed up on the corners. Those guys from Redans play first and third. I got a catcher for Grissom organization behind the plate, so I got 4 guys back there. I got 2 guys to platoon, so I pretty much got 4 studs, but 2 guys I can platoon any given day. Outfield, I got a utility guy out there that's going to fill in. He's a lefty, so I kind of filled in the spots where I'm able to need to fill in, and I think it's going to help us out in a lot of ways. We young, a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors, mostly sophomores, a couple of juniors. So we young. Those guys are hungry. Those guys just was seeking structure when I got there. They didn't have it, D. They didn't have it. So I mean, they love it. I mean, when you come to my office, everything structured, practice, everything organized. They used to doing things, I guess, just out in the open. But we working on every day. We working on something. It's detail. Whether it's hitting, fielding, it's broken down in detail what we're working on. And I'm big on time. I know they call me like a military sergeant, but that's me. I believe that quality is important. You understand what I'm saying, D? Quality is important versus quantity. You can be out there 4, 5 hours, but what are we working on? Quality is important. Station set up, everything. You know, quality is big. Time.
You know what I always find out too. And I talked to this behind the scenes. I had a conversation with this earlier this morning with a friend of mine, and you might know him. He runs a program in Alabama. But there's always quality kids, man, that's still left over, and black kids. But on one hand, you always hear this HBCUs, they don't have enough black kids, you know, there's not enough black coaches and all of that. But then on the flip side, you know, you get a lot of parents and kids that look down on HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? When you're in the recruiting and you're trying to, get the best talent out there, how do you deal with that situation?
And there's something. There's been a debate going on. I tell you. Well, I've been at all HBCUs, as you know, and it's funny how things are changing. You look at Mississippi Valley State. You look at all these schools. It's like, wow. Even we played Miles in the championship. We look across the other end. We're like, oh, they're predominantly white. So things are changing. I am looking for the best ball player out there, but at the same time, I'll be honest with you, D. I'm big on it's HBCU setting, and I'm big on kids. I'm the one trying to get those kids that's overlooked. I'm the one going to those inner city programs, giving those kids a second opportunity. I'm that guy. And I believe in that. It's so many kids out here that deserve a chance in the inner city program. You look at the previous draft we have, you can count on your hand how many African Americans we have. We got to do a better job as a whole because a lot of kids out there can flat out play, but they're just not getting seen.
Sorry about that, Coach. Sorry
Oh,
about
could you?
that. That was me. My internet kicked out, man. So
Okay.
you were talking good, and I'm like, damn. As soon as you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you were big, and I lost I lost it after, you know what I'm saying. God,
Yeah,
and I know
I was saying that I've been at several HBCUs. That's all I've been. And the thing about it, I feel like a lot of kids get overlooked. And I do honestly, I feel like I'm one of the coaches that really go out there and I'm looking at industry programs. I'm trying to find those kids that need that opportunity. It's sad because you look at the previous draft, you can count on your hand how many African Americans that we had. So we got to do a better job as a whole. I like the fact that we have this diversity committee with the NCAA. So we got to do a better job as far as players and hiring coaches on the NCAA level. So I'm looking for the best player, but at the same time, if I can find that kid, particularly African American kid, he got a home with me. He's got a home, but he got to understand that academics is first.
I mean, because I always, I hear
it's a unique. It's because things are changing. D. It's changing, and a lot of kids not getting the shake, getting the opportunity. I just and I don't want D. You know how a lot of kids have a bad taste when they come out. For example, I'll be honest with you. My nephew had offers in Missouri, ended up going to Detroit Tigers, and I was conversing with him, and I said, don't overlook some of these schools like at the time I think Savannah State was strong. These other schools, but we got to get these kids to understand that, it doesn't matter. D1, D2, and things have changed. Look at the kid from Texas. He just transferred to Texas Southern, that pitcher. He just transferred from a Division I school. Okay. So I think we're going to start seeing an even more playing field. You're going to start seeing some things shake up a little bit. Just watch what I say within the next couple of years.
All right. I can't remember who asked that question, but I just asked one of the questions from one of my listeners. So my bad. I didn't mean to take your question, but the Coach Ian said, "What is the outlook for the upcoming season?"
The outlook pretty much we're going to compete. We're going to compete, and we're going out to win. We're going out to win. We're going out to win. Eating that's all I know. We're going out to win and compete every time we step out there. We're going to have that mentality to win. I've been down that road where it's a mind frame. You got to get them guys to get out that culture. And once some guys start believing themselves, that's half the battle. When I was in Memphis, I'm telling you guys, we only run 4 or 5 games, and we ran a tournament run. They asked me, Coach, how do you do? You got to get in that mind. You got to get in that mindset. And once they start believing, that's it. That's half the battle. But they got to see you also from the top. I never threw the towel in. I never. I always tell them, we got another day. It's another day. So I've been down that road before. I know anything is possible, but you got to put the work in.
I mean, everybody comes in as a great athlete that comes to your school, right? And you recruited them, vetted them, and they come in there, man. So, but one of the hardest thing is to understand his mindset. You know what I'm saying? The mindset. That's one of the toughest things to, see on a ball field, from 1 to 2 times of looking at a ball player, man. So, when I understand in this situation, it was unique. Thank God you do have those connections with Redan and right. Marquis and those type of guys. But like on a normal year, let's just say, next year is a normal year, next summer and all of that. How many touches does it take for you to see a player to really like, want to commit to that kid and be like, hey, I'm gonna offer him something?
It takes. I have to really. It's funny because somebody sent me something. I have to really evaluate. It takes me a few times to really evaluate because I want to see. I look at everything. I look at how a kid overcome adversity, certain things on the field. How he handles certain situations, not good times but bad times. I see how he handled that. I evaluate things in that aspect. I just want to see where his mind at, his mind frame in that nature. And that means talking to him, particularly him, not the parents. I like to sit him down. Like when I have my exit interviews at the end of the semester, things that nature. But I want to see where their mind at. I just want to see, where their mind at, things that nature. But as far as valuation, I have to make sure, you got to keep in mind, D, there's only a limited amount of funds I have. So I have to make sure this is the guy I want. Will this guy be a good fit for what I'm trying to do? Will this guy be a one-hit wonder? I have to make sure this kid, is he going to come in and allow it, bring stability within my program? Will he be a bad apple? So that's why I say I stress big on character, those things in nature. Because you can find 5'2" players anywhere, but the character make up those things are so big because they're going to represent you, the program, and everybody else.
No doubt about it, man. Especially, picking that right kid, be around town, acting up, acting crazy, but he could hit you for 100. But if he ain't gonna be on the field because he's doing wild stuff on the, off the field, what good is he? You know what I'm saying?
I've been down that road. It's not gonna help you, right?
My man says, "Amen, coach. You're definitely right about a lot of African American kids being overlooked. MLB needs to coordinate some kind of HBCU combine each season." Yeah.
Well, it's funny you talk about that because Ron Jackson, he actually he mentioned to me about that. He want to do that also. So a lot of things we're trying to get going.
No doubt. Yeah, I got some stuff working on the HBCU side too. Coach Jackson, Kirk Jackson, Southern, and all that. A couple other coaches know what I'm trying to do over there with the bat. Not necessarily combine, but something like that to expose the HBCU. Get them. Get a little more love to y'all, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And all right, so the conference as a I keep saying conference. You're independent. I read something. I keep saying Southern some conference, but so when you the current roster you have right now, is it I know you said that your discipline small ball, all right? Right. Now you got an influx of different guys coming in. You got the I'm sure you letting everybody else come back. Is that pretty much what you guys going to do with the NCAA rules, or you kind of the seniors left? Well, how does that work?
Well, I have one guy that's coming back that's going to help. Going to have another extra year eligibility due to that situation. That's going to help. This guy is a big leader on the team. He's from Atlanta, so he's a big anchor, third baseman, DH. So that's going to help me out a lot. So I'm not losing anybody. I lost one guy, PO. But other than that, everybody's coming back with exception one or two due to evaluation things that I see different in my eye. A new coach, new leader in town. So things changes, unfortunately. So for the most part, everybody's coming back. So they know. I think it was important that after that year, they got a chance to learn me, D. They knew about me somewhat coming in. They was excited, but they get to know me as a person, my personality, my makeup. So I think that 1 year was good, that good bonding between us. So now they know what to expect coming in the next following year.
Nah, I love it, man. Let me see, get this question in. If a kid gets a full academic but a pretty good baseball player, but his goal is to play college baseball, would you allow them on your team if he's a hard work? Would you? Okay, let me see. If a kid gets a full academic but a pretty good baseball player, but his goal is to play college baseball, would you allow them on your team if he's a hard worker? How should this type of kid contact you?
Yeah, most definitely. I have a couple kids in that situation. He can contact me by email, mdsmith@voorhees.edu. So that's your question. Most definitely. He can get opportunity.
I think I got one too, to be honest with you, Coach.
Okay.
PhD guy. I would talk off the field. Mississippi boy.
Okay.
Real strong academics and fast. But let me see here. All right. I want to make sure that I hit all the. We got the pricing. We got the scheduling. We got the camps. We got everybody at home until January. 2 weeks of training. That's crazy to me. And so as far as coaching staff, tell me a little about your coaching staff, man. You know what I'm saying? Who you got, man?
In the staff, I'm in process of I'm looking at this individual. I think he's on call now, so I'm in the process of approaching him and see how whether he'd be open to this opportunity or not. Because I admit when I got here, it was just a one man show, and it's a lot on me. Been doing a lot now with this administrative role. I have a lot going on because being a head coach itself is almost it's full time itself, dealing with fundraisers, public relations, things of that nature. So it's a full time job, So I'm in process of fulfilling that position as assistant coach. I'm looking for.
All right, you gonna carry just one?
Well, just one, and usually you have like D. You might have a student assistant, somewhat like that, but just one, pretty much. Yeah.
All right, cool. So what's speaking of visualizing and making things happen, man. So Coach Smith, you chilling, you laying down right on your Saturday, right? You ain't on the field like you usually do, right? So what do you see, your school in 3 to 5 years, man? Which will be like the ultimate, that you would feel like, all right, I mapped out my plan, and this is the success that I mapped out right here. What was that picture?
I see myself 3 to 5 years us being one of the top NAIA programs. I really do. I really do. Just through what I'm trying to do, my hard work ethic and things that nature. I really think I'm capable of doing that. I'm a nonstop worker, D. I really think I could do that within 3 to 5 years. But it takes time. It takes time. Everything is a process. Everything is a process. So I really see the program. One thing about it, we're not going backwards. That's for sure. We're going forward. We're not going backwards. So I really see this program, jumping off, becoming one of the top programs in NAIA ball.
All right. Greg Godwin on, shout out to Greg. Redan High has been on the baseball map for 40 years. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. So shout out to my boy, Brandon. I met Brandon when he was a youngster, man. Brandon Phillips, Chris Nelson. I think he's a Redan. Yeah, Nelly, right here, a Redan kid, right? PJ Phillips, PJ Brandon, little brother. Yeah. Yeah, I remember he was 12, 13. I ended up playing with him when he got to the pros. But yeah, they Jimmy, what's good? D, Coach Smith. All right, what up, Jimmy? Texas in the house. All right. So yeah, man. So listen, I for the parents that's listening in, man, this is something that I love to do, man. Give a forum and a platform for guys like Coach Smith, man. That's taking on a challenge, new program. Getting them exposure is best that I know how, and with this platform that I do share and have, this man, you can see the integrity he has. You can see bringing his family into this. It's a family type of atmosphere. I already know. I can kind of tell. You know what I'm saying? When you go on that campus, I'm sure it is. That's why I'm sure he's going to do very, very well. He did well with limited resources at Lemoyne, because I know the challenges he had there, right?
Yeah, that's why I have. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to talk too bad. I don't want to talk too crazy, because I'm sure that Lemoyne, one of those coaches, may end up on the show. But but I mean, I know nothing but success will come, man. For this program and for this and his coach, man. So, Coach, I'm gonna get this question in 2 in, and I'm gonna ask you to kind of give us a great little message to take us out, man. And but let me get this one. We got Coach, is your goal to stay there for about 10 years, or are you trying to move to a bigger school? Does SC State still have a baseball program? South Carolina State.
Okay. The first answer to that question, if it's God will, I move with him. I allow him to control it. So if God's willing, we'll see. I allow him to control the situation. South Carolina State, they had baseball years ago, but they don't have it now. So that was a good question.
All right. And I know that's something that when you're hiring somebody or hiring coaches or something, and when I'm sure when AD is hiring you, you know, that's something that's got to be like a issue in the back, and then I'm sure they have to ask you that question. I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but I know that has to be like, yo, you're gonna get your success and all of that, man. You're gonna build the culture, and then man, do they ask you in those interviews like,
Yeah,
or they?
yeah, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. And not just interviews. The other day I was in the office with Miss Johnson, and she was, just talking to me. And she said, "Coach, I really appreciate you. You have been a big asset to this program." I said, "I appreciate that. Appreciate that." And she was just saying, she said, "Your goal." She said, "Now, I know you want to be an AD later on down the line." I said, "Yeah, but right now I enjoy hands-on with the kids or whatever." But people see potential. You see what I'm saying, D? They see you. They see you. And she just blessed and thankful just to have me on board. Just to have me on board.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I mean, I just talking with you, man, and getting to know you, man. I know you had some, a lot of opportunities, man, and will continue to. So, and that's good, man. I wish nothing but the best for you, man. This is 2021s, all right, 2022s. He's still actively looking, which is good, all right, because I know there's a lot of still 2021 talent. I talked to some, and y'all been messaging me. So, I'm sure I'm gonna put back my boy email up here. All right, so if you have videos or any type of you want to basically send some videos, or don't be just messing them, no craziness. Just hey, you got some, a parent or preferably the kid, have the kid email, coach, all right, and with a video and tell him how much he's interested in going to Voorhees, man, because this is I feel like it's an up and coming small school, all right, pretty much like a athletic, it ain't a performing arts, it's a performing sports, college, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And a fair amount of athletes over there. So I think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of like-minded individuals there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hopefully to keep you on the same path, man. So again, this is coach's email over here, information. Coach, are you on Twitter, anything like that you want to share? Or what? This is the best way.
Yeah, just me.
All right, so shoot him an email. All right. Now, this week, all right, tomorrow we got James Cooper from Grambling coming on tomorrow. All right. And then Wednesday we have Michigan State head coach coming on, and Thursday and Friday I have to remember, I can't right off the top of my head, but we still continue to come back on, share, tag this, especially listen, obviously it exposes and expands the show, but then you get to see, young, black, coaches out here balling out here trying to change some kid's life out here. And that email may be shared to the person who, don't necessarily watch the show, but now sees the coach and they're like, oh, I got a kid that that may like this school, and that's what this is about. So tag, share this message, share this interview, and definitely I ain't gonna in the right hands, share the email, man. Get this information out there to some parents that have some kids that can play. All right, help this man build a great program over there. All right, up in South Carolina, South Cackalack. So, Coach, if you could, man, I'm done talking. Let me I always have my coaches that are on, man. It's y'all, man. You know what? Yeah, Jansen. Yeah, Jake Boss, Michigan State. I got you. All right, my bad. All right, so you're gonna kill me when you come on Wednesday. But anyway, if you could, man, I always have my coaches take us out with a great message, bro.
Once again, I always like to talk about character. When I talk about character, I always say when nobody else around, what are you doing? That's who you are. That defines true character. What are you doing when nobody else around? That defines the person who he really is. We can have this facade, what we do in and out, what is facade, but what are you doing behind doors? That defines a person's true character.
Listen, great message. All right. The best players, all right. The best players are always the ones who, especially for the young kids listening in. Everybody got practice. Everybody gonna have weightlifting. Everybody gonna, be told what to do on the field and where to go and all that type of stuff. But the truly great ones, and I just had this conversation this morning, Coach, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was talking to one of my guys this morning, and we brought up that conversation where eventually, from a player standpoint, and in life too, right? You're gonna get to that point where you're gonna see where and how high and why maybe you didn't reach your limit, because you're gonna see somebody else that was working. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking about high school athletes, and shout out to my boy Highland Hall. He's a JC up there in Chicago. Was signed to Memphis, and he came on the show last year, and he just shared his routine. How he was working hours on a day, doing homeschooling, the time and money, the time that it was spent on the field, running, sprinting, whatever. And you could kind of see why he was a high level kid, and he was, Ty was going to be a top 5 round. He got hurt though right before high school started. So, and then you see the normal kids that going to do just enough, Coach. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do, right? They're going to do the practice and the one lesson, or that their parents may pay or something like that, but they ain't going to do nothing behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? In the room, the extra swing, nobody looking. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that excel and do something. And I know, with your boys and the people that you're going to be bringing in the future, you want them dudes, you want them leaders out there that you ain't got to tell them, hey, be here and be there. You know what I'm saying? They out there putting in that work where that's when you know that, this kid really wants it. You know what I'm saying? And let me ask you this, Coach. I'm going to get out of this, man. And I know I'm, I'm rambling. I had this conversation, man, and I want to talk from a parent standpoint. All right. You've been recruiting on the trail for a while, man. You've been doing this, man, right? This is your livelihood, all right, for many years now. The last couple of years, I've run into a couple of kids, man, that say they want to play college baseball, right? Yeah. But from a coach's standpoint, let me ask you this. What is most important to a kid in your experience? Is it, because I've seen a lot of kids almost, like because the recruiting didn't go their way, meaning the coaches that they thought, or the level that they thought, what I'm saying, they was, good enough to play in, they didn't get that love. The timing wasn't right. Whatever, where these kids were willing to walk away from the game, and then, they were given opportunities, but then they didn't take it, and they just, like. How do you, if from a parent standpoint, what kind of advice do you give to that parent that, thinks that their kid should be at this level, and the kid thinks that he should be at this level, and why is nobody calling right now, and getting offended and in their feelings when it comes to this type of thing? Have you ever, you've been on this trail? Have you been in that situation, man, dealing with parents that feel like you could be, better place and all of that,
I have, and some kids, some parents, they think the kids, why you have D1, D2, JUCO, certain levels, and some parents, they think their kid should be on a particular level, whatever it may be, and a lot of times us coaches, that's not the case through our evaluation. Of course, that's their opinion, but I done had kids go to D1, end up transferring because things didn't cut out, and they was better fit on my level. Where I was at Division II level. I had a lot of kids from D1 when I was at Memphis transferring, came to me because things just didn't work out, but it was a better fit for me. But you just have to understand, it's different talent. It's different talent levels, on different levels. Whether you're talking about SEC ball or SIAC ball, whatever it may be. And that's just the nature of the beast, That's the nature of the beast. And I know it's hard for some parents to understand that, because that's why when I'm recruiting, I get it all the time, Coach, my kid, this and that. Well, I look at everything. I break down everything from the competition play, from the level of region, from your team. I look at everything, all facets. Of course, a lot of parents going to say, oh, my kid is da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So I actually, through evaluation of things, I take it from my eye, and then I make the decision going from there. Because things might, like I say, things changing here. The talent level changing here. So the typical guy was coming in before I got here. Guess what? It's going to change up. It's going to change up. You won't cut the mustard. I bring in guys from winning programs that know how to win, and they're going to bring that contagious, attitude, and it's going to spread.
All right, there you go. I try to get that off my chest, and I thank you. Piggybacking off that, man. Listen, man, Coach Smith, pleasure meeting you, bro. We will be in contact, man, and I'll, you know, I'm surprised we ain't meeting Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
you know what? All that time we was in Memphis, I don't know why we didn't meet because I was out and about, guys. I know you probably familiar with Robert Lifton, all them guys. I was out there. Yeah, I don't know why we never met because I said, man, we never met all that time. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
I wasn't dealing with high school age, like age level kids until like 2016, 2017. So you were on your way, way out and when I started really honing in because I was, I had a 14 and 15, I was going up the ranks like that, man. So
right.
That's probably why, what I'm saying, I haven't, because like the following year I was telling you the new staff was there. That's when I was calling them and trying to get them to, connect and get some of these local kids, man. And I'm hoping that they do it now. But Memphis is a lot of talent there, especially black kids. And sometimes I think, the new staff maybe they be overlooking. I don't know. I haven't been there.
Actually, I'm going back there Labor Day weekend. My wife is from there. I'm going back there. A couple of high schools reached out to me, so I'm gonna work out a couple of kids there. So I'm going back there Labor Day weekend.
Oh, good, man. Go pick them up, man. And some talented kids. And like I said, I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna be there. I was supposed to be there, you know what I'm saying, this week, to be honest with you, but I'll be back at the end of the month. But there are a couple kids. If you're gonna be there working out some kids, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add a couple, you know what I'm saying, to the mix if that's all right. You know what I'm saying? And so you can see them, man. And we kind of go from there, man. So listen, bro. Pleasure. Parents tomorrow, 4 p.m. Grambling head coach James Cooper coming on. We're gonna keep this ball rolling the next 2 days with our HBCU. Go Wednesday, Power 5. And I want to say I think we're gonna end up with it back on the HBCU side, and we're gonna keep this ball rolling. So tag, share this message. All right. You got some players. Reach out to Coach Smith. The email has been up. All right. Let's see. Let's make this happen, man. All right. So Coach Smith, I appreciate you, my brother.
Hey, take care, D. Appreciate you.
All right. Parents, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Grambling head coach. Peace.
Okay.